Hello and welcome to Inside Sports. I'm Wes Decker. As always, it's great to have you along. And as I'm sure you know, in the past I've had a proclivity, working in the New Year's resolution right off the top, for talking about Justin Bieber. Now, if you're a regular viewer of this show, and who isn't, you know that I've tempered those references considerably the last season and a half. I've even bypassed opportunities to talk about his appearance at Pittsburgh Steelers Bible study, and the Biebs being voted the celebrity the American public would least like to have as a next-door neighbor. Great material, but nothing like this, so I can't resist. Bieber received a big endorsement from his personal trainer last week after questions began swirling regarding the authenticity of Justin's brief appearance in a new Calvin Klein underwear campaign. Evidently, seeing was not believing for many who suspected nefarious photoshopping had been used to enhance what they had seen, creating a lengthy list of unbelievers or non-believers. However, the Biebs' personal trainer, Patrick Nielsen, isn't among them. Nielsen was quoted as saying, "I can definitely confirm he's a well-endowed guy." I'm sorry, what? What man publicly says that about another, especially Justin Bieber? Better yet, how do I get this guy on my payroll? Also last week, in non-Bieber-related news, a new study conducted by The Ohio State University concludes that men who post selfies show psychopathic tendencies. Researchers found that men who frequently post selfies are characterized by a lack of impulse control and the resulting need to be seen as quickly as possible. Essentially, the results indicate that they suffer from extreme narcissism and psychopathy. My phone is so slow to upload, it just drives me crazy. I mean, it should be instantaneous. Anyway, coming up, I'll show you what I shot this past weekend. There's basketball, indoor track and field, and lots of wrestling. And best of all, you won't find me in any of it. I'll start by taking you to the mats at North Hagerstown when you come back.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
I'm Bernadette Wagner, host of Healing, Hope, and Health, the program that educates the mind and touches the heart. Join me as local experts discuss the mission, services, and programs provided by Hospice Washington County. On this program, we will answer questions submitted by viewers, thank generous donors and business partners, and recognize the dedicated staff and volunteers who deliver compassionate care when it's needed most. I hope you'll join me for the next episode of Healing, Hope, and Health. You'll be glad you did.
For over 25 years, Tony's Pizzeria has been serving authentic Italian cuisine. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Stop by today and enjoy one of their many house favorites, made fresh from scratch daily, in the newly expanded and remodeled dining area. Serving a full liquor bar, beer, and wine, Tony's 50-person banquet room is perfect for your next celebration. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Come see what's new at Tony's Pizzeria Restaurant and Grill, 10 East Salisbury Street in Williamsport.
Welcome back to the show. The 28th annual Hub Cup Wrestling Tournament was contested this past Friday and Saturday with teams from 21 schools representing 4 different states, all converging on Hub Arena at North Hagerstown High School. A number of former and reigning state champions, along with many current state-ranked wrestlers, dotted lineups across the board, all hoping to add the title of Hub Cup champion to their resumes. As Saturday's action commenced, a dozen county wrestlers still harbored that individual hope, while 11 would have to wrestle their way into the evening's championship finals. Only 10 could make it. The question was, how many of them would? After North Hagerstown freshman Brian Stewart advanced via forfeit at 113, Williamsport junior Justin Beckley, the lone returning defending County Hub Cup title holder from 2014, went about his semifinal work at 120. The 12-2 Beckley drew Waynesboro junior Austin Wise, who entered with a season record of 11-5. Beckley took an early 2-0 edge, then fought back from 2 points down, only to have a return trip to square off for his second consecutive championship and 51 seconds into the second period. Beckley would go on to finish 4th in his weight class. Next up at 138, Hunter Faith's goal was to join teammate Brian Stewart as North Hagerstown finalist number 2. Faith fired out of the gate, opening up a commanding 8-0 lead over Southern Garrett sophomore Jimmy Schwab, with 3 of those points coming right at the end of the opening period. The Hub senior showed no slowdown or mercy to start the second, first scoring 2 with a reversal. Then the Hub Cup runner-up of a year ago added 3 points with a near fall, and even though he couldn't quite get the pinfall, Faith finished the tech fall to ensure his shot at retribution in this year's finals, running his record to 19-1 in the process. It was then unbeaten Isaiah Brooks who sought to keep the host school's momentum rolling as he stepped onto mat 1 next in a 145-pound semi. The junior put his 19-0 mark on the line against Catoctin senior Garrett Buckley, who came in 12-2. Brooks was never really challenged, remaining in control throughout en route to a 10-4 decision that made North 3 for 3 so far in semifinal matches. Another Hub sporting a perfect record was a solid candidate to keep the team's march to the championship finals intact. 10-0 Coleman McCose was that guy, opposing James Woods' James Wozniak at 152. It was the Hub senior versus the Colonel senior, a winner in 30 of his previous 33 bouts. Tied at 2 with mere seconds remaining, McCose timed it impeccably, scoring just before the buzzer to deny overtime and advance to the finals with a 4-2 decision and a little extra. A hug from Coach Slick. On the opposite side of the 152-pound bracket, South Hagerstown's Jason Smith had designs on making it an all-Hagerstown final, but Woodgrove's Joe LaRock wouldn't cooperate, sending the Rebel senior to the consolation round, where Smith ended up 6th. At 170, Dylan Brown was all about continuing that North Hagerstown run to the championship finals. Brown brought a 17-1 mark into this bout against 24-6 Ryan Funkhauser of James Wood. The North senior jumped all over the James Wood junior from the start and opened up a 7-1 advantage after the first 2-minute stanza. It wouldn't take Brown quite all of the next 2 to taste victory, scoring the pinfall at 3:53 of the match to raise his record to 18-1 and the Hub's team mark to 5-0 in the championship semis. While 2 North wrestlers still waited their respective turns, Williamsport got its second and final opportunity to move on at 182. The Wildcats' Kobe Baker seemed to be playing out a script versus fellow junior Hunter Bentley of James Wood. Baker executed a takedown right at the end of the first period to grab a 4-1 lead, and then concluded the second period the same exact way to double the margin to 6 at 8-2. Baker then clinched his 15th win of the season 76 seconds into period number 3 to vault himself into a position to walk away with a Hub Cup title. The very spot that St. James freshman Gavin Smoot and North Hagerstown junior Alex Darr strove to be in by the time their 220-pound bout concluded. In the first all-county semifinal showdown, the 13-1 Smoot struck early and carried a 1-point edge into the second period. There, he maintained the upper hand, building as much as a 4-point cushion before barely withstanding a furious rally by the 16-3 Darr, holding on once the score was reviewed and confirmed at bout's end to escape with a 7-5 victory that halted North's run of perfection to the finals and gave St. James a representative there in Smoot. Darr would go on to make it to the podium by finishing 5th in the weight class. The last one, 285, provided another all-county clash as South Hagerstown junior Brian Nagati went one-on-one with North senior Aaron Dobson. Nagati came in 12-2, and Dobson, a state place winner in 2014, entered 8-1. Both guys had made it to the semis thanks to a pair of pins, and neither gave the other an inch in what was a scoreless struggle into the third. That's where Dobson finally managed to impose his will at 1:17 of the period to move on to the finals on the strength of his third pinfall victory of the tourney. Nagati would win his final bout of the day to capture third place at 285. Dobson's W gave North 6 chances to bring home individual titles, while Williamsport and St. James each had 1. For the county altogether, that was an opportunity to win championships in more than half of the 14 weight classes. Fast forward 6 hours and it was go time. Time to find out whether you were the best or, on this day, a cruel fate known as second best. For some, second best proved more than cruel. It turned out to be agonizingly painful. North Hagerstown phenom Brian Stewart was the first to feel it when the 20-0 start to his high school career received its first blemish, courtesy of reigning independent school state champ Daniel Planta of St. Paul's by a single point. Teammate Isaiah Brooks, who like Stewart also entered the tournament without a loss this season, couldn't prevent the same fate by that same elusive single point. Brooks also dropped to 20-1, coming up short to South Carroll's Shane Connors, who raised his record to 29-1. And although their losses weren't quite as close, the Hubs' Coleman McCoes by major decision to Woodgrove's Joe LaRock, Williamsport's Kobe Baker, who became 30-0 South Carroll senior Wade Slatniski's fourth pinfall victim in 4 matches, and St. James's Gavin Smoot, who also succumbed by pinfall against North Point senior Kyron Perez. They all felt the sting of not getting their hand raised. While that's 5 who didn't, there were 3 who did. After this break, I'll introduce you to the county's 2015 Hub Cup champs. Prepare to see a lot of red, white, and black when you come back.
For over 25 years, Tony's Pizzeria has been serving authentic Italian cuisine. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Stop by today and enjoy one of their many house favorites, made fresh from scratch daily, in the newly expanded and remodeled dining area. Serving a full liquor bar, beer, and wine, Tony's 50-person banquet room is perfect for your next celebration. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Come see what's new at Tony's Pizzeria Restaurant and Grill, 10 East Salisbury Street in Williamsport.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
Welcome back to the show, and we continue now. I said we'd have a lot of red, white, and black coming up on the show, and I also did a wardrobe change. You know, it's almost like we're at the Oscars or something. I'm joined by Hub Cup champion wrestlers from North Hagerstown, Hunter Faith, Dylan Brown, and Aaron Dobson. Welcome to the show, guys, and congratulations as a whole, all 3 of you individually and as a team. Major accomplishment over the weekend. Hunter, let me go to you first. You win the title at 138, defeat Jamar Williams of South Carroll. Take me through that finals bout a little bit, because it was a little bit of a roller coaster ride and kind of came right down to the end.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure of who the kid was at first. I'd never really heard of him, especially just moving down here last year. But then I got in there and we started scrapping, and I realized it was going to be a tough one. And really it came down to the 3rd period, and then it was in that last couple seconds, and he got out and I was down by 1, and I realized I only had a little bit of time left to do something. So.
Now, did you kind of let him out? That escape, did you kind of give up at that point?
Yeah, well, my thinking was I needed to get a takedown eventually, so it was either going to be there or overtime, so I figured why not go for the win right now.
Did you panic at any point in time during that bout?
Not really. I'm pretty good at keeping my head, so stay calm, don't let anything get clouded, don't cloud your judgment, and just go with it. So.
And this one meant a lot to you, being a runner-up last time. What was that feeling like when the bout came to an end? You got your hand raised. Was it relief? Was it jubilation? Was it a combination of things?
Yeah, definitely. Last year I got beat like 9-2 in the finals. It was just bad. And be able to come out here in my home gym and be able to step up and put one on a team, first title out of our 6 guys who were in the finals. So it was just a joy to be able to get my hand raised and hear my name called.
I'm sure it was. And Dylan, after seeing what Hunter was able to do, you step up at 170 in a bout for you against Kevin Simmel of Catoctin, whereby you got the early lead. You were out to a 4-0 advantage at one point, and then all of a sudden he comes roaring back in that bout. Take me through yours a little bit.
Yeah, coming from 82, him dropping, he was very strong. He came out and we tied up, and I could tell I wasn't going to be able to tie up with him much or control his tie. So when I got a late takedown in the first period, I was very excited, and getting the toss, getting an early reversal, going up 4-0, giving up a late escape in the second. But yeah, on top, I just couldn't ride as well as I usually do with some people, and then a quick escape, and then a quick takedown. And then I just got leg cradled there late in the 3rd, but got an escape and then rode him out for the rest of the match.
How about the Catoctin coach getting ejected during your match? Did that factor in at all in terms of taking didn't take your focus off of the match at all?
No, not at all. I know I didn't have a full Nelson, so I wasn't going to let it affect me.
Didn't matter to you anyway.
Nope, not at all.
So you get the victory, coming away with the move that you needed with 55 seconds to go. And the same question that I asked Hunter, what was it like when you hear that buzzer go off and you get your hand raised?
It was pretty exciting. I mean, I've always wanted to be a champion ever since I was little. So I might have celebrated a little bit too much, but I was very excited.
I was going to ask about that because it seems like there's some decorum that must be maintained and you know, just to kind of put your hands up and say, hey, I want it, you know, there should be a little room for that, shouldn't there? Yeah.
I believe so. I got some from it from my mom and my dad, but you know what?
Yeah. Hey, you're a champion. They can't take that away from you.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And Aaron, you step up then at 285. You get an opponent in Colin Hoffler of North Point. And so far throughout the course of the events, you had 3 pins up to that juncture. Yeah. And in that particular match, I think you had a near fall right at the end of the second period. And your goal was to get a 4th pin, but it was a decisive win for you, 8-1. Take me through, you know, the match as you saw it.
Well, I mean, going into it, it was definitely a match that I knew was going to be a decent match. I'd already wrestled him down at La Plata, and I mean, I knew what he was bringing to the table, and I knew he was stronger than me. I knew he was bigger than me, but I didn't let it deter me. I just continued to wrestle my match and not stoop down and wrestle his match. I mean, I felt that throughout the match it was fairly even up until I got on top, and from there I was able to just crank him over and get those back points that I needed to push myself forward. And at that point I realized that it was gonna be won.
Yeah.
And past that, I mean, I kind of did wrestle a little defensively, but nothing to the point where we'd get hit for stalling, which I mean we did. But I mean that's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And in the end, you get your hand raised. How special is it to be a Hub Cup champion and recognized as one?
It feels pretty good to be a Hub Cup champ. I mean, I can remember Junior League and going, and my parents would take me to go watch the Hub Cup. My brother was a Hub Cup champion, and I mean, to live up to all that, I mean, it's definitely a great accomplishment that I feel proud of myself for, and I mean, I'm glad my teammates got the team aspect of it.
Yeah, and you would barely let them touch that trophy too. I mean,
Yeah.
You're a little taller than most, so you can hoist that higher than anybody else.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the Hub Cup victory, guys. I know there's a lot more to accomplish before the season's over, and best of luck on all of that.
Yeah,
Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
I will be back right after this. Got more coming up on the show. Boys basketball is where we go next in just a moment.
Since 1963, you've been trusting the folks at Hagerstown Floors. It's still a family-owned and operated business featuring a variety of high-quality flooring choices for your home, like carpet, ceramic, hardwood, vinyl, and we offer floor sanding and refinishing for your existing hardwoods. And you'll find us stocked warehouse, full of flooring options for do-it-yourselfers, or take advantage of our in-house installers for expert installation. Hagerstown Floors on Virginia Avenue in Hagerstown, the trusted name in flooring since 1963.
If there's one thing my dad taught me, when life doesn't go exactly how you plan, keep it simple. Sometimes a few curveballs are thrown your way. With one visit to Bank of Charlestown, they helped me map out a strategy to start the next chapter of my life. Even though I work with my hands, I still work with people. That's what BCT does best. They're my trusted advisor for all the details and whatever comes next.
From home improvement loans and mortgages to business lines of credit, find out what a partnership with BCT can do for you. BCT, we simplify your financial life. Now in Hagerstown.
Welcome back to the show. In boys basketball, last Friday night provided a couple of important league tilts, one of the public school variety and the other from the private school ranks. We go public first with two of the undefeated teams in Antietam Conference play striving to stay that way. South Hagerstown came in 6-2 overall, 2-0 in the conference, and on a 5-game winning streak. Homestanding Williamsport wanted to keep its perfect start alive. The Wildcats entered 7-0 overall and 3-0 in the Antietam, where both teams started the night in a virtual tie with North Hagerstown. Both teams were hot from long range early, with Rebels leading scorer Jacoby Lott and Williamsport scoring leader Michael Riley trading deep baskets. And then Lott went even deeper before going inside, accounting for 8 of South's first dozen points as the Rebels jumped out to a 12-4 lead. But Riley kept shooting for the Wildcats and trimmed Williamsport's deficit to 4 by the end of the opening quarter, finishing it with 11 points of his own, and showed no let-up to start the second, adding 5 more that pushed the Wildcats back in front for the first time since they led 1-0. South got back to even with 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. From there, the Rebels proceeded to retake the lead and built it to 5 before a technical foul on Coach Naylor jump-started an 8-2 Williamsport run that put the Cats on top 29-28 at halftime. Williamsport opened the third quarter, scoring 6 of the period's first 10 points before South reeled off 8 in succession to grab a 40-35 advantage. The Wildcats came right back with 6 of their own, 3 following Naylor's second technical and resulting ejection, but that seemed to fuel his team, who closed the quarter on a 7-0 run that time would prove put the Rebels in front for good. South finished the night forcing 24 Williamsport turnovers and riding a combined 44-point night from the backcourt combination of Lott, Glenn Tinsley, and Jordan Luna to victory. Riley paced the Wildcats with a game-high 25, but just 7 of those came after intermission when they were outscored 38-19. South's 66-48 triumph, coupled with North's Friday night win over Smithsburg, sets up this Friday's Rebels-Hubs game as a first-place Antietam showdown between the conference's 2 remaining unbeatens. Speaking of conference unbeatens, the top spot of the Mason-Dixon Christian Conference was on the line last Friday at Grace Academy as Broad Fording Christian came calling. The defending champs came in 3-0 against MDCC foes, but the Lions had dropped their last 2 and 5 of the last 6 overall. Grace, meantime, couldn't have been on more of a roll, having compiled a 9-0 mark in total, while off to a 4-0 start in the conference. Both teams came out tight, like they knew the importance of this one. Broad Fording managed to make just 3 of 12, and Grace connected on just 4 of 18 first-quarter field goal attempts, and each team turned the ball over 5 times in a ragged opening 8 minutes, from which the Knights emerged ahead 12-9. Neither team separated itself from the other in an even lower-scoring second period that featured BCA forging 4 ties, but going to halftime trailing 21-19. Broad Fording, who carried a 16-game series win streak into Friday against Grace, finally took its first lead on Dom Shakiskis' three-pointer 2 minutes and 40 seconds into quarter number 3. Isaac House extended the Lions' margin to 5 just under 3 minutes later, and it became as much as 7 before Lachlan Capel canned a 3-ball for Grace with 58 seconds left in the third. Shakiskis answered right back from beyond the arc for Broad Fording before Mark Kuntz accounted for the period's final points, pulling his Knights within 39-34. And the game remained tight throughout the fourth and ultimately became a battle of attrition with 2 players fouling out from each side. Shakiskis continued his clutch jump shooting for BCA until he left after committing his 5th personal with 2:57 to go and the Lions up 2. On the topic of clutch, ahead by just 1, Chris Puffenbarger's basket with 2:22 to go made it 50-47 Broad Fording. Grace twice climbed back within 1, but the guys in blue always found an answer, including Josh Johnson, whose only points of the night came from the foul line with 8.5 seconds remaining. Johnson's critical free throws gave BCA a 58-55 edge, and the Lions, as they have ever since January 25, 2007, held on to defeat Grace 59-56. The Knights will have to wait until February 5th at BCA to find out if the 18th time is the charm. After this timeout, the wait for indoor track and field on this week's show is over. MVAL Meet Video and results coming right up.
Behind every great child, there is a great foundation. Premier Martial Arts will empower your child and give them a premier foundation to success. Our instructors have the passion to teach classes designed to build premier skills. Your child will develop greater self-control, confidence, and concentration. Premier Martial Arts will take your child up the path of greatness. Call Premier Martial Arts today.
I'm Bernadette Wagner, host of Healing, Hope, and Health, the program that educates the mind and touches the heart. Join me as local experts discuss the missions, services, and programs provided by Hospice Washington County. On this program, we will answer questions submitted by viewers, thank generous donors and business partners, and recognize the dedicated staff and volunteers who deliver compassionate care when it's needed most. I hope you'll join me for the next episode of Healing, Hope, and Health. You'll be glad you did.
For over 25 years, Tony's Pizzeria has been serving authentic Italian cuisine. Open daily for lunch and dinner. Stop by today and enjoy one of their many house favorites, made fresh from scratch daily, in the newly expanded and remodeled dining area. Serving a full liquor bar, beer and wine, Tony's 50-person banquet room is perfect for your next celebration. Dine in, take out, or delivery. Come see what's new at Tony's Pizzeria Restaurant and Grill, 10 East Salisbury Street in Williamsport.
Welcome back to Inside Sports. In indoor track and field, things are starting to get a bit more serious with regions coming up in the next 2 to 3 weeks and states looming in just a month. Last Friday at the MVAL Small Schools Meet, aka the MVAL Antietam Championships, also known as Washington County Schools Boonesboro, Smithsburg, and Williamsport versus each other and 8 schools from Frederick and Carroll counties, the reins were loosened on some of the bigger and swifter horses. For the Williamsport girls, its stable of hurdlers hasn't been held back much so far this season, and they all fired again on Friday, capturing 3 of the top 4 spots, with freshman Jordan Morris outdoing everyone. Seniors Lauren Hubbard and Savannah Holder finished 3rd and 4th respectively to give the Wildcat girls their best showing in any event. As for Boonesboro, Coach Becky Walter finally unleashed Inside Sports Cross Country Runner of the Year Haley Wright somewhat. While Wright won the 800 later in the night, she geared things down a little, as agreed to with her coach, to finish 2nd in the event in which she holds the county record, the 1600. Then there's Megan Grams, who is not only easing back into things off a foot injury that cost her the cross-country season, but was also compromised by flu-like conditions last Friday. Nonetheless, the cautious integration of Grams back into the fold netted a win in her heat in the 500, but with a time that was nearly 9.5 seconds off the overall winner. For Smithsburg, it's doubtful that we've even seen the best that defending 1A state champ Gabby Reason has to offer in the 55-meter dash. Reason did provide the best Leopards finish of the meet, though, with a 3rd-place sprint. No county team challenged for the championship. Boonesboro was highest on the final scorecard, 55 points behind first-place Liberty in 5th. It was a similar story on the boys' side, although nobody put much pressure on the champions from Catoctin there. 3rd place Smithsburg and 4th place Boonesboro battled each other, as only 5.33 points separated the two at night's end. In that tussle, it's safe to say that the Leopards' Nate Craig was the difference maker. Smithsburg finished ahead of Boonesboro in 7 of the 13 events, including all 3 in which the senior competed. Individually, Craig prevailed in the 55-meter dash and just missed adding a 2nd gold in the 300, having to settle for runner-up honors by a mere 1/10 of a second. The Leopards' next best finish came in the pole vault, where Adam Dwyer got up and over the bar set at 10 feet 6 inches. However, it was Justin Walters who claimed Williamsport's lone victory for the boys, outdoing him by half a foot, clearing 11 feet to best Dwyer and win it. As for Boonesboro, the Warriors continued their season-long domination and internal back and forth in the shot put. Alec Nittinger's throw of 45 feet, 3.75 inches was good for 2nd, 1 foot 1 inch off the best throw of the night, 46 4.75 by champion Tony DiGiuseppe, who now leads his teammate 3-2 in their head-to-head matchups. And round number 6 is scheduled for this Friday as all 7 county schools compete at the 24th Annual County Indoor Track and Field Championships. 5 individual reigning champs return to defend for the girls, while just 1 is back for the boys. Incidentally, Boonesboro is the 2-time defending boys champ, and the Warriors are also the 3-time defending girls title holders. Don't sleep on what South Hagerstown's boys will bring to the meet, though. Lots of speed and the fastest time in the county in the 3200 this season, 10 minutes, 11.58 seconds, turned in by Inside Sports Cross Country Runner of the Year Darren Harmon just last Saturday in winning the event at the MVAL Piedmont Championships. The County Showdown starts Friday at 4, and HCC full coverage headlines next week's show. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you then on The Inside.
Hey, your sisters and your brothers, your haters and your lovers, you gotta get up in the streets.